Hey guys, how are you? I'm coming on today just with a short, sweet video. Sometimes when I'm walking home from daycare with my son, I get inspired, and I thought I would share this inspiration. It's very simple and very looked. I would say people look it over a lot, and I wanted to share this because I think it's very important. Why we should always use positive prayer, or not always, but more introduction of positive prayer versus the negative, complain-like prayer that most of us gravitate towards every day. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes you got to level things out. Sometimes you've got to bring an equilibrium and or some positivity to your life. And I find a great way to do that is to graciously, gratefully pray. You can do this every day. It's not hard while you're in traffic on your way to work, or while you're just about to step into work. You could say, thank God for this job. You could say, thank God for the air in my lungs. Thank God for the eyes to see. You could say things like, I'm grateful for the legs that got me here today. The list goes on and on. And the thing is that most of us only revert to prayer when we're in dire straits or in trouble or we need help. And I'll give you a human life situation where you could see how things work. Because as they say, as above, so below. So think about this for a moment. Everyone has this friend. We all have this friend. We always have this friend who we call like the negative Nelly, or the one who you call and you kind of regret calling the minute you call them. After like 30 seconds and they've already gone into their spiel about how bad life is, how their children are horrible human beings, or how they don't have enough money to pay their bills. And the story goes on and on. And the reason why sometimes we have that friend is because obviously we love them, but at the same time we don't like calling them because we come out of those phone calls just feeling so low and so disturbed and just so depressed. So if you have to think about it that way, God works the same way too. It's not that he or she is choosing who to listen to, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, you loathe calling this person because you know you're going to get an earful of negativity. So the thing that I want to say is that at the same time, as much as you're putting out a negative prayer, don't forget your positive prayers, your positive gratitude towards your life and the beauty that is your life. So that way you can build this relationship, and you're not that person to God, in a sense, if that makes sense. You're not the negative Nelly that God's like, oh gosh, I gotta listen to this again. And another thing I will say is that why you may not be getting a response or a return on these prayers, especially if they're negative, is because I would say unanimously, we usually tend to have the skills or the tools to get out of those problems. Just like our friend. How many times have you had those conversations with that friend and you're like, oh, this again? Still can't pay your bills? Why don't you look, like you're thinking in your head, why don't you look for a better job that makes you more money? Or why don't you get a second job? Like you're already going through your brain of all the solutions that this person could apply to their life, yet they don't do it. So what do you do in response? You shut up and you say nothing because you know that they're not going to take your advice or your information and use it positively to change their life. So you just shut up and you say nothing and you're like, okay, I guess here goes another revolution of them not getting it. And then you start to realize that all they truly like to do is complain. So then you start to revert away from them, and 9 times out of 10, that relationship gets so strained and you just don't want to talk to them. So think about that when you're praying next time. Always pray when you feel it. That's also very important. Pray with emotion. Pray with power behind it. Don't waste your time praying for the sake of praying. That's another thing. There's no weight behind it, okay? The power comes from the power within. So don't forget that when you're praying. But also, don't forget to add in some fun things. Don't forget to add in some gracious things. And that's the way I suggest everyone takes a look at their prayer. So I just want to say that today's a short, sweet video. I just want to thank all my new subscribers. If you do like what I'm saying, please subscribe, please like, please share. And we're just going to continue on the march. And I just wanted to share that today. And I love you all. Bye-bye. Don't forget positivity. Bye-bye.